everybody. Welcome to another episode of Treasure Talks. I'm so excited to be here with you. Thanks for joining us. And I've been so excited for this episode because look who's with me. It's Scottie Rae Lawrence, and everyone knows who you are. She's the founder and the owner of Magnolia Soap, and there's 3 locations. Yes. And I am a huge fan, and we will get into that a little bit later of why I am a huge fan. But I want to introduce, first of all, thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting
me. Oh my gosh, I love her.
Thank you.
And I'm going to read this because I don't want to mess it up. Okay. You describe yourself as a serial entrepreneur.
I do.
Okay. You're not afraid to take risks. You embrace change and chase what sets your soul on fire.
Yes.
I love that. Your journey is anything but traditional. You started as a chiropractor before pivoting into the world of business ownership. And you will be the first to say that the road has not been easy. We were just talking about that. Tenacity and perseverance, but boy, she has that. And she's learned to embrace hard good. I love that.
That's a good word. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I just made that up. I actually thought that was yours.
I love it.
I was going to say, that's really good.
That's good. You did a good job.
Yay. Yeah. Today, we'll dive into her story, how she took a leap of faith, the lessons she's learned from businesses that didn't go as planned, and the incredible way she's giving back. And she does that hugely through Hope and Soap. And whether you're an entrepreneur, a dreamer, or love a good comeback story, you're going to be inspired by this lady. She's amazing. Okay, I just want to jump right in, and I want to know what inspired you to take the leap into business ownership, and how did you land with Magnolia Soap?
Do you want to go back all the way to when I took the leap from chiropractic into business ownership?
Speed do it.
Quickly? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was a chiropractor. We opened a practice. My husband and I met in school. We moved to Arizona. We started that, and very quickly I knew I didn't like it. And I got restless. And
as a chiropractor. So you did practice as a chiropractor.
I practiced and I practiced. I'm still licensed, but very quickly something changed in me, like literally overnight. And I didn't even know that it was part of who I was. And I started I need to do something else. And my husband's like, oh my gosh, we just bought this business. We have all this stuff. And I was like, okay, but I can't do this. And so I started opening businesses, and I bought a failing curves for women back in early 2000s.
Oh my gosh, curves.
You remember that?
Yes. I did it.
I know. So I found one that was going under, and I bought it and turned it around and opened up more. And then a few years later, I sold them all and made a big profit. And I was like, oh. And all the while, we still have our chiropractic going, and I started finding out real estate, started flipping houses, and I didn't know how restless I was, and my poor husband had no idea what he got into.
But everything you did succeeded.
I know. Yes, in some way. I mean, I find the ones that I don't think did well, I learned a lesson from. So they're a success. I've always said I haven't failed at anything. I've just learned something from it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so how in the world did you land Magnolia Soap?
Okay, so I was had started another business in 2019. It was a wedding business. And then what happened in 2020?
Yep.
COVID hit. And I had no one in the world would think that a wedding business would go under. Everyone's getting married. So I had these great businesses that I started. And that all of a sudden it went under. And so and I'm thinking, well, I got to do something else. What's COVID proof? And people, that's a word we never thought about. We'd say, right? Or pandemic proof,
yes.
Right? Not COVID proof. What's pandemic proof? And so I landed on finding out about a soap company. And I thought, well, that'd be fun. I had no idea.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a good idea. That's kind of what I do. I was like, that sounds fun. And my husband and I are like, yeah, we could do that. Well, we means me. And I was like, okay, well, that was in September 2020. I just went online and went, soap franchise. Popped up.
Wow.
Called the founder, and we had a conversation. I said, okay, I'm buying. I bought it sight unseen, went down there.
What was the first one? What was the first location?
Cherry Street.
It was Cherry Street.
Yes.
Was the first
so I opened
one.
that one I opened December 2020. We were full mask. Everything was locked down. People thought I was the craziest person in the world. And I'm like, this is a perfect time to open a business. Like, why not? Everyone's shut in. They're waiting to get out. And there was all these support local.
Yeah.
And it never like dawned on me how big this would get. I just opened it as like something to do.
Wow.
Which is like crazy, something to do.
And I mean, it took off. There were like people outside.
Yeah, we had,
you had people outside the door?
Yes.
Okay, so when did you open the second one? Because you've got 3 now, right?
I do. I quickly opened, I felt like pressure building. And so I opened that one in November 21. I chose like our local mall. And I felt like that's like the best worst decision I've made in business. It's great because it's a really good name recognition and a brand booster.
Right.
If anything that propelled us into like more of a name brand in the area, it was that location. So it's a really good billboard, if nothing else. And then cost of goods went so high in 23 that there was just survival mode. And then I got itching to like do something. I was like, okay, I had that itch again. And I was like, either had to like move on or open something, another one. So I was like, where I was looking at in Broken Arrow popped up.
Yeah.
The area I was looking at, the same building that I was like wanting or praying about for a year, they finally agreed to lease to me. And I was like, okay. We did that in a matter of 2 months and opened that one in November of 24.
So you've been doing this since 2020.
Yes.
Okay. I heard you share at the Women's Fellowship, and I remember you talking about a burn the boats moment.
Yes.
Can you explain what that is? Because I really thought, what does that mean?
Okay, so it's something my husband likes to say because I have so many things going at any one time.
You are a whiz, I tell you.
And he's like, you have to choose something and you have to be, and I don't know if it's the Vikings or who they were, but they would go and conquer in place and they burn the boats. And then they were there and they were stuck there to plant or do what they had to do. And he goes, you're going to have to sell your wedding business and you're going to have to focus completely on Magnolia and you're going to burn the other boats and burn that boat. And because you're all in now, because it's gotten so big. And so I was like, okay, I'm burning the boats. And I still had the wedding business. I was trying to do all these things and had 2 locations, the wedding business. And I finally was like, I can't do it because they're all kind of weekend jobs.
A wedding business alone gives me a nostril twitch. That's just a huge thing.
I forgot I even had that for a while. So I sold all 3 of the entities of that, and they're still thriving here in the Tulsa area. So I love like seeing what I created and what they're doing and how they're like still part of the wedding world here in Tulsa. So that's been really fun to see.
Neat. That's so neat. Okay, so when you opened up in 2020, did you just feel like it was the right time? You just had a gut feeling that it was going to take off? Because it did.
Yeah, I don't think I had any thoughts at all. I just knew I was like,
did it.
And I did. I never had made soap in my whole life. I made a candle once in college and it burnt up. Like I put flowers in it and it caught fire in my apartment. And I was like, hey, that's a failure. I'm not that crafty. So people are like, have you been doing this for a long time? I was like, no, I've never done this ever once in my life.
Oh, but that's an inspiration because you don't even have to do this. And look how successful she is.
Yeah. And what I always say is I underestimated the business and overestimated my ability. But that's what I did. I had no idea what I was getting into. I just knew I could do it. I never thought that I couldn't.
I love that though. And that's how we should all think. We should all have that mindset. So what do you think makes Magnolia Soap different from the rest? Because it really is. I use the products. Yeah. I'm sold. I mean, I've got the laundry detergent. I've got the dog stuff. I've got the little scent. Oh, you guys, it's so good. Yeah. What makes it stand out from the rest?
I think the transparency of what we are and the retail theater of it. Like when you go somewhere, you enjoy a show at your table or like, something happening. You can see the kitchen working. The difference is you can walk into our stores at any one time and see any of our team members making their products and then putting them onto the shelves. Yeah.
Her team. I love them so much. And that is a testament to you, my friend, because every single one of them is just so precious and they love what they do and it shows and through the Hope and Soap, which we'll get to. But also, aren't the ingredients really healthy?
Right. So they're plant-based. So I think during COVID also, we started looking at stuff differently and started like reading ingredients or seeing what's healthy or what are we doing, making us sick. And that also helped us get bigger because we are plant-based, no harsh chemicals, nothing bad. It's safe for babies.
I have to tell you my personal little testimony here. I break out in hives over anything, and I was breaking out in hives a lot. We couldn't figure it out, and I got the laundry soap. We started using the laundry soap, and it got better.
Yay.
I was like, no more hives. And
Yeah.
and it smells so good. The scent Magnolia is my favorite. Mm-hmm. I've even got some of those scent balls. I've got them in my car. And every time someone gets in there like, Lisa, and I'm like, I know it doesn't smell like
That's
dog.
a really good idea to put the dryer balls in there.
It's awesome. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Hope and Soap.
Yeah.
Because this is really how we became friends
Yes.
and met. And it was always a quiet prayer of mine to be picked as one of her charities for Hope and Soap. And it was so neat because we give spa bags in all of our care boxes and our bags. And we had completely run out of soap. And we would order bars of soap and different kinds of soap. And I was contacted by you that we got chosen and could create our soap. But can you explain the whole Hope and Soap project and what that kind of looks like?
Yes.
For those that don't know.
I started back when we first opened, like kind of like give back days. And as Magnolia Company was growing into the charity organization, I was like trying to do my own reach outs and sponsoring of different charities. And then we created where a monthly soap was a sponsorship for a local charity. And I'm such a volunteer and I have such a heart for giving back. And I didn't know to the extent that I did, but being able to, I thought, well, what can my store do to help people? I mean, it's a retail store. And I know that our products bring joy when you walk in and also when you take it home. And so being able to have a dedicated soap that's just a charity soap that our customers can get behind and learn about local charities.
Right.
I mean, I have learned so many. And so last year we had nominate a local charity in each one of the stores, and you could drop in and write names and people. That's how we chose this year. Was all last year people were nominating, and so yours was came up many times, which was fun. And so and being February was I think the Act of Kindness month,
and so
and we're like, well, what a perfect time to sponsor that. So being able to have the organization come in and be a part of the crafting and the creation.
Oh, it's so
and
fun.
Choosing the different, how soap's designed and what it smells like, and just being a part of that process also brings that charity closer to what they're doing and lets us put a name to faces too. And it's not just so-and-so charity. We know who's part of it, which our team then is like, oh my gosh, that's why.
Oh, I loved it. And it was so neat because we got to go in and we got to make the soap, and each color represented a different cancer. One, the ovarian, the breast cancer, all cancers, and of course, children's cancers.
Yes, the gold sprinkles on top.
The gold sprinkles. And what was so neat is it just kind of exploded. And we got, how many bars did we end up? 1,800 bars of soap that I mean, every week we are packing. And I got to tell you, everyone loves that soap. That's always the thing. They'll say, oh my gosh, we love this soap. But it was like, boy, when I prayed for that prayer, I had no idea. And every time I walk past our big table where we pack, I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord. You're so good. And then I got to know your teams.
I know they worked so hard. I don't think they made that much soap.
They were making so much soap. I almost felt bad when a sponsor would say, we want 500 more. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I got to call them and tell them. And they were so sweet. And we just had so much fun. And I'm just so grateful for that. And what's exciting is that in July, it's your birthday month.
It is.
And tell them kind of what you're doing.
So for my birthday month, I don't normally do anything like this, but I turned 50 last year. So this is 51. So I'm in a whole new chapter of my life.
New chapter.
Right. And I think it's really awesome. It's a lot of fun. But I wanted to mist some love through Tulsa. So we have a new product for our body mist, and we wanted to sponsor a local charity that, helped women too, and we could bring awareness to our product, but also give back portion of that sale for the whole month of July at all 3 of our stores back to a charity. And our team overwhelmingly chose Lisa Vane Ministries.
Can you believe that? That makes me want to cry.
I know.
And you know what's funny? I was telling her before this, we are out of body spray, and we use body spray in our women's bags.
Oh,
and
I love it.
I said to Skipper, I'm just going to hang on. We've got to make another order. And then I tell you what, about a couple weeks ago, you were saying, and I was like, body spray. Boy, God answers quick when I ask for hygiene.
Absolutely. So, and our body mist is plant-based. So it's for cancer patients too, it'll be healthy for them. And so not putting toxins on their bodies.
And you know what I loved about you, my dear, is that she went with us when we went to the cancer center, and we visit everyone that's going through chemo. We bring one of our therapy dogs, and she went with us, and we were able to gift every patient a bar of soap. And I love it when our sponsors get to see what we do, how you're helping, and the impact that they're having on the community firsthand. That's huge.
Yeah.
And that just meant we had so much fun. I was like, at the end, I said, don't plan anything afterwards because you're going to be wiped out.
Yeah. It's emotionally draining, but it was amazing. My mom had just gone through the previous year chemo there. And so I would sit with her like every other week, and we would sit through that. And she had her 70th birthday there. And so on her 70th birthday, which was like that's a hard day to be having chemo, and the irony of that. And so I went around, and she goes, let's gift everybody for my birthday. So I went around and gave everybody soap and products for her birthday. During her chemo. So I went around and gave everyone that was there. And so it was like coming full circle, but in a more like big way that was, I got to see it also and talk to them. But I didn't, I just kind of passed them out. I was not confident and comfortable with it last year. It was just, and my mom was sitting in the other chair, and just being able to the other side and seeing the ministry that you do with them and how they impacted their lives, that little bitty thing that they got.
I tell you, you can't do that and not leave changed.
Yeah.
Doing what I do, it just changes your perspective. Yeah. You never have a bad day. You never have a bad day when you do this.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I tell you, well, I'm just so grateful for everything you do for the community. I just haven't seen anyone that gives back like you do and has a heart like you do. And it's been just an honor to be able to, be friends. I just think she's so cool. Okay, so you actually grew up on a farm, didn't you?
I did.
Okay,
yep.
Did what you learned on the farm help you doing what you're doing now? How do you think?
Yeah, I think. Well, I like work. Like it just doesn't stop for me.
Because you're just a go-getter.
I'm the oldest and the one that was raised on the farm my whole life, and seeing my parents and the work ethic they have and the never giving up and the hard days.
You had a great example.
That's the impact of seeing like they went through tough times, and they didn't give up. They stayed in their marriage. They've married over 50 plus years, and and even though they lost their farm, it taught us lessons of moving past that and how they took from like that to growing to where they are now, and just how we were raised. So it just taught me never to give up. So it's a little bit,
Yeah. Okay. So what is one piece of advice you'd give someone standing on the edge of a dream that wants to burn the boats, but they're scared?
I get asked this a lot, and really it's, and it just seems like super cliche, but you have to just take that risk. And I say, I feel like, what's the pain that you're in? Is the pain worse staying where you are or making that change? So I always temperature my pain. And if I'm staying here in 5 years exactly the same as I am today, will that be comfortable or more painful than making a slight change and moving and taking a risk?
Right.
And so what pain level am I willing to do? And for me, and I will just gauge that. And so think about your pain point. Is it where you are now okay? Mm-hmm. Or that idea you have, is that going to put you in a whole different level and maybe move sideways or move up?
Move up. Yeah. What's one of the biggest lessons that you think you've learned the hard way through this? Is there one that stands out the most?
Yeah, like when I had, I feel like the ones that I would have quote unquote didn't work or, failed, I learned, and I use this word, I pivot. And it takes us, I always joke about like,
I love that.
The Friends, pivot the couch, the Friends episode. It's like pivot. I
just did a blog on pivoting. And the Friends, I used Friends. Yes,
the rock. It's like pivot. And so my husband laughs. He goes, but I'm really good at pivoting. And so if something's not working, I just pivot it and change it. So that's the lesson is I don't give up. I've never like failed because I just alter my thought process.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's next for Magnolia Soap? It just continues to grow, add fragrances.
Yes.
and-
So this year is a growth year for us. We're stabilizing. Every year has been some sort of change. And I just promised my team this year, we're just going to like, okay, we're going to keep this going. And my personal life is really busy with,
I've got a lot going on.
My son got married. I have a new grandbaby coming. So life is really changing.
Is that your first one?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you're going to go bonkers.
I know. So everything's changing. So I'm glad I didn't make any decisions to like expand.
Yeah,
So,
I love that. Okay, I'm going to end with some rapid fire questions for her. I haven't done this, but I'm doing it today. Okay, what's your favorite Magnolia Soap scent?
Magnolia.
Mine too.
I love Magnolia.
Mine too.
Yes.
Good answer. Okay, early morning hustle or late night brainstorm?
I'm a late night brainstorm.
Are you?
Yes.
Wow.
I used to be able to stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock, and that's when my brain works the most. So.
Oh, mine's mush by that time. I'm like gone. Okay.
Nope.
What's one product you always keep in your bag?
Shower oil.
Shower oil in your purse.
Yeah, we traveled all over Europe with our shower oil. That's what we used as our perfume and our body lotion.
That is good stuff.
Yeah.
Best business advice you've ever received?
Oh, gosh. I guess it'd have to be from my husband to burn the boat.
Burn the boat.
Drew will love hearing that. He's like part of that.
I love that. That's a T-shirt. That's T-shirt worthy.
I know. Burn the boat.
Burn the boat. Okay, one word that describes your journey so far.
I would say amazing.
I think that's a great word. Yeah. If you weren't running Magnolia Soap, what would you be doing?
Oh, that's easy. I'm a real estate investor, so I'm always flipping. I have like 3 or 4 houses going on right now.
That's amazing. I wish I could do.
My son and I
like
are doing like he's working now, but we were doing things together, and so he's now following that footstep, doing his own investing, and so I love real estate. Mm-hmm.
Go to coffee order.
Oh, and I'm into horchata. I think that's really good. Have you ever tried horchata?
I've never tried it.
So I'm really into horchata. Otherwise, I like flat whites with brown sugar.
I like creamer with a little bit of coffee.
Yeah, I don't like coffee. I like creamer.
I like the coconut. My kids are like, Mom, your fridge, it's all creamer. And I'm like, I like it.
I know.
Okay, last ones. What inspires your creativity the most?
I've taken a test and I just have that creative mind.
You definitely do.
I have an innovation mind. I've taken multiple tests, and one I just took recently was like, you're an innovator.
Yes.
And it just never stops. So I don't have any like, what does it? Things just pop in my head, and then I'm like, oh, rabbit. And I'm like chasing that little rabbit down a hole. I'm like Alice doing her thing.
I love that. That's so cool. Yeah. Okay, last one. Finish this sentence. I feel most empowered when
I help others.
Oh, yeah.
Like whether it's my team members succeeding, watching them grow on to their careers, or facilitating careers within my store, or just seeing other organizations do great and other stores do great because of the ideas I have. So I'm a natural coach and a natural mentor.
And that's a gift because not everyone loves to see other people succeed.
No.
I love that too. Yeah. I love to be behind the scenes watching that. And my husband said, not everyone's like that. And I'm like, well, they should be.
I mean, I'm competitive, but I love to share what I do.
Yeah.
And I like to see that in action with other people and watch that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you are just a dear. You are a giver. You are a community treasure. And I'm just honored that you were able to spend time with me. And I always end in prayer. And I'm going to just say an ending prayer and just bless you,
thank you.
For everything you're doing. And Lord, just thank you for this time with Scottie Rae. I just love her. I love her heart. I love her spirit. I love her desire to help the community and just be such a blessing. And I pray that you would bless the business, bless the future, bless whatever she puts her hands to. And Father, for those out there that are dreaming and feel stuck, I pray that you would be there to unstuck them, that you would really help them have the wisdom in the burn the boats season to direct them on which way to go and give them the confidence and the strength and the grace to do it. Thank you for this time, Lord. We bless it and we thank you. In your name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I am just tickled that you were here with me. And you guys, July is buy the spritz spray because part of it goes to Lisa May
Miss
Ministry.
Some Love.
Miss Some Love. It's July.
Yep.
And you can go to all 3 locations.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, the products are amazing. Once you go, you're going to be addicted. If you've never gone before and tried the products, you're in for a treat and you won't break out in hives. I promise. So bless you guys. And if you haven't gone to YouTube yet, make sure you subscribe, ding the little bell. If you've missed some episodes, just go to lisabain.com, go to the Treasure Talks tab, and you can catch up on everything. We're so thankful that you're here every month. And you guys have a great month, and we'll see you at Magnolia Soap.